Nerdrotic.com.
So, Lanterns came out.
Did?
Last Sunday. Yeah. Taking the place of House of the Dragon. And wow, was that a downgrade?
I thought that was True Detective.
I thought that.
I thought that was the new season of True Detective. It was
It was a very smart play for them to put it the week after House of the Dragon, which, regardless of what you feel about the show or season 3 or whatever, massive viewership for HBO Max. I think 22 million people in the first 3 days tuned into the finale. So that is the premiere time slot, and they did it right after a huge finale for them. And what did it get? 9.3, 9.2, something
3
like
days,
that.
yeah.
9.3 million in the same time period that House of the Dragon finale got 22 million. So they lost about half of their viewership from what they had last week. But in terms of a premiere, good numbers for HBO Max in general, depending on your perspective. Again, when you realize that something like The Acolyte had 11 million viewers in the first 5 days, that Agatha All Along had about 10 million viewers in the first 4 days of release, that 9 million number, it's being treated as like a god tier ratings number for them, when in fact it is not that at all, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, added on top of that, the show is absolute dog crap.
Well, there's that.
Like, the show is awful.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Bad
not a
show.
superhero show. And it didn't want to be a superhero show. And it's by people who don't want to make a superhero show. They wanted to make another show that you can watch on HBO Max. You can watch True Detective season 1. It's better. It's really good.
Way better. They're not even
phenomenal.
close. Yeah. You're like,
it's one of the things I said about like this show. I think that it's going to be controversial for comic book fans, right? For random HBO Max viewers or HBO viewers, I don't know if it's going to be as controversial, because what are they? They don't know that Hal Jordan's being disrespected. They don't know anything about Hal Jordan. They don't know anything about Jon Stewart. And for all they know, Jon Stewart might be a fucking vegan who fucks grandmas in the fucking parking lot, you know?
Spoilers. We're going to put
So
some
people are
spoilers.
going to have different depictions.
light it up, Granny.
They have such disdain for, Hal Jordan, the white, dude character, that they kill, but it accidentally make him kind of interesting, the only engaging character, then they kill him off. And then the character that they really, really love and they want everyone to love, the diverse character, they make him a plank of wood, but also just an asshole that's
And a
uninteresting.
fucking vegan.
And a vegan.
That's really the problem.
The thing is, like, from a title, this show is ashamed to be a superhero show.
Yeah.
It's just fucking, the military, like, spray painted letters. Like, you're just like, oh, okay. So no stylization, no fucking green, nothing to indicate that this is a show about the Green Lantern Corps or anything. There's like lanterns. If you showed me that fucking title screen, I'd be like, what's it about? Are they building lanterns in a like factory or something? Because it doesn't have any indication that this has anything to do with superheroes. It's fucking
if you go watch the interviews, like the pre-interviews, they did some at Comic-Con and whatnot. I put it all in the intro of our Lanterns review, but like he says, Damon Lindelof was like,
it was never something that I necessarily felt like, oh my God, I've got to make a Green Lanterns TV show or a Green Lanterns movie.
like, you didn't care about it. And then they were like, oh, I was really interested in it when I heard that he pitched it as True Detective. Like, they're not even hiding the fact that they're straight up
with
stealing
power rings.
Yes.
That's what this motherfucker said. True Detective with power rings. That's what your friend that's high as fuck at 3 a.m. eating cheeseburgers says to you as a random thought that he thinks is extremely profound. What if we did... hear me out, bro. True Detective and power rings.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit, dude.
And you're like,
write that down.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Make sure you remind me of that in the morning, bro, because like that's gonna be good. That's something.
Harry, lay off the show.
And then like one of the guys like runs
the problem
into, like,
is
an old lady.
The Green Lantern's gonna have a little trouble with that Yellow King. So
yeah,
anybody remembers?
Yeah,
Detective
that was a good callback. Yeah, Haster. Yeah,
is that
would
like
have found Dora Lang sooner or alive?
It's like, let's have Pokemon, but just hear me out. Game of Thrones.
Whoa.
I'd watch the fuck out of that.
Charizard.
What if we took Themyscira without Wonder Woman? All
Game of
women
Thrones.
Game of Thrones. There you go.
There you go.
Paradise Lost.
Lesbian of Thrones.
Lesbian of Thrones.
But
With none of the tits.
Essential.
Yeah, with no boobs. Yeah, that's the worst part.
Lantern's just the Wonder Man of the DCU. Because it's a similar concept. It was just Wonder Man was a little nicer about it, and they didn't hate the audience. They didn't hate the fans of Wonder Man because there are so few of them. But with Lanterns, this is an angry show. Everybody on there is angry in some way or upset about something in some way. Like all the way down to like the side extras. They're just not happy people. There's some kind of negative conflict. This show is made.
That's why I like
bad
it,
faith for the audience.
I like the negative energy. I appreciate that about the show. Look,
it's pointed at you.
It is impossible to look at this show as just a show as opposed to the greater comic book universe that it's in and surrounding it and the characters. I feel like if I knew nothing and you just like freaking Men in Black, boom, and I forgot everything I knew, and I watched this, I would have watched the first episode and been like, okay, so we've got kind of an old bitter cop who doesn't want to give up the glory days and a young dude who's like trying to prove himself, some weird mystery in a small town, little bit of like out of order, out of sequence storytelling. Maybe I'll tune in for the next episode. But the problem is that I fucking hate it because it's Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart and what they're doing to Hal Jordan. And regardless of if he's actually dead, if it's a shapeshifter, regardless of whatever they do throughout the rest of this season to show him in the 2016 time frame, and if they try to give him some redemption before he dies, like it kind of doesn't matter to me. I don't know how it's going to be avoidable for this not to feel like the Last Jedi treatment for Hal Jordan.
Yes.
Yep.
Like that's what it feels like to me, where, yeah, okay, so in the 7th episode, they're going to reveal that, oh, look, he actually rediscovered his heroism and he does something like this, like Luke did by fucking, all the shit with Kyle. But it's not going to matter because of the way that you fucking treated him and what you've done to him. Hal Jordan is the greatest Green Lantern of all time. He might not be your favorite, but he is the best and the greatest, definitively.
Yep.
Like in universe, he is acknowledged as that. And to take that character and the first time we see him in the DC universe, this is what we get. It's so disappointing. And it sucks because I think Kyle Chandler could have been an awesome older Hal Jordan given the right material.
Yeah. Like that's what sucks about the show is like he's good. Like he's a good actor and I would like to see him as Green Lantern, but he's not. He's a washed up, sad, lonely loser that everybody else around him points to him and goes, he's a sad, washed up, lonely loser. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, why? When he was in that courtroom with the boss bitch judge, was she talking to him like she didn't know who the fuck he was? When earlier in the episode, we showed that he was signing autographs to people. Like, people know who he is. He's been doing this job for 20 years publicly. In the 90s, he did a fucking 60 minutes interview where he revealed, oh, this is the thing. So he's a well-known person, and she was treating him like he was some random hobo. Like,
the entire episode is just made to dump on him and make him look like a retard, and is the only character that you might have been able to do something with. If you took this episode in isolation, this show just hates this character, wants to make him out to be a retard, and all the other characters are entitled assholes that you don't like. Like this show just fundamentally sucks.
Well, you're in like a fucking small town. Some guy murders 4 people on a football field, and a fucking Green Lantern and a super cop shows up and says, "I think there are aliens." She goes, "You don't have jurisdiction here, bitch." If that happened to me in a small fucking town, I would be so fucking happy for a super cop to descend from the sky and go, "There are probably aliens." You go, "Oh, thank God, it's not some guy just flipped out and killed a bunch of people. It's something that I have no control over." And instead she's like, what makes you think it's aliens? He goes, "I got a feeling." She's like, "Oh, we're going by feelings now?" Yes, bitch, because you don't know shit about aliens. And you know what else? You were fucking wrong. He was fucking right. And you got the balls to sit there and look at John fucking Stewart and go, he's kind of an asshole. Bitch, you're dumb as fuck and shouldn't have your job anymore.
There could be a decent chance that she knows much more about what's actually going on that is been
Maybe she's
revealed
not-
there because how connected she is with all the other people that we saw later in the episode. So that there's a chance of that.
Well, there's a very good chance she's an alien due
That's
to a
what I
certain shot in the interrogation.
Correct.
Where she's reflected in the alien. So is the ranch owner, or maybe the whole fucking town.
Well, that's
What
the other part
you mean
that
JD
The
Vance?
problem.
I saw because like even the judge, the way she acts with contempt for him, I'm like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
her
what is
deal?
going on? Why?
$100,000 bail. Like
Yeah.
for a bar fight,
300,000.
and then 200,000.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like
bar
it was set at
Yeah.
100 for even 100 for a bar fight is a little crazy. And if like this is a small town, did they want to have like the news coming in and be like Hal Jordan arrested? Because there's like that could
would
happen
definitely happen.
on a bail set that high.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that is going on that is potentially going to be revealed. And there's a lot of mystery box stuff and all that shit.
I count
One of the-
85.
Other than the treatment of Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, the other concerns I have about the show kind of in general, right? The fact that we have it set in 2016. We've already got mentions of how Midwesterners feel about Barack Obama. You have kind of like a all-white militia group that seems to be getting on. Like, how are they going to, like, they could easily spin this, especially with creators like fucking Lindelof, easily spin this into some kind of fucking Trump thing because it's set in 2016.
Why don't we protect Earth from people that aren't born here? That was a line based, but he was the villain.
How about when Jon Stewart's talking to his dad on the phone after the car goes over the cliff, and his dad says, "Well, they can have tantrums.
Yeah.
We can't."
Jesus fuck.
Fucking.
Oh wow.
Think you mean superheroes?
See,
Oh yeah.
that was
why?
No, he's not referring to superheroes.
that's how I took it, because again, it's done in a very American specific way, and so to me, I entirely missed that. But all the reviews say that this is just another racial show. It's the same as Watchmen in that kind of way. And the one of the issues with the mystery box, the way it sets it out, is it's all contradictory. So all these people are attacking Hal, but Hal is correct at every opportunity, and yet they still insult him, attack him, and Hal never responds to them as if they're doing this to him. Like, he doesn't act like, what do you mean? Why are you doing this to me in a courtroom? Obviously they're aliens. Like, well, how do we know they're aliens? It's like, yeah, she's stopping me. At no point does he point out how absurd it is that she is holding him back from proving he's correct. It's like going, that's my child. Is like, no, it isn't. It's like, we'll do a DNA test. No, like, you just stopping the proof that would give you the power. And no one points out throughout the entire show that she is a bent copper. She is taking money from someone else. She admits that she's got being held over by this guy. And he's like, so he doesn't go, well, is that why you were holding me back? Is this something to do with that or anything? He just forgets, because the show can't answer that question until it's ready for the mystery box.
Well, and also because he's pretending like, oh, you're another victim. I know what that's like. I get it. You poor victim, you know, like, and so they're like commiserating over that shit and said, like,
She's corrupt.
she's corrupt as fuck. Yeah.
And, she's so entitled still. She's such a girl boss. I'm right. Like that stupid, insufferable girl boss character makes this episode so damn hard to watch.
He's really full of himself, isn't he?
Oh,
Fuck you,
every
bitch.
time.
He's fucking Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. He's protected the fucking world for like 40 years.
The only way you make that justified is if Hal was drinking his own like Kool-Aid, and when he shows up, he's just ignoring people and just doing whatever the fuck he wants and making things worse. Then you could be like, oh, okay, he's just not giving a fuck anymore. But that's not. He's actually trying to talk to people and kind of trying to like run through the right channels. And everybody's like, fuck you, man. You don't deserve to be here. And you know what? Maybe the whole town is aliens. But I don't think these motherfuckers are smart enough to write this. I watched the first episode of Watchmen. David Lindelof is a fucking retard. Like an actual,
he's a moron.
The whole season.
Like
lot of similarities
legitimately
in this show.
retarded.
That's why
he
I
sat
said,
around and he went, "What if we had a guy cover himself with lube?" And then everybody was like, "Let's fucking do it, man. That sounds like Watchmen to me."
What if people take cover behind cows during machine gun fire?
It's like, look, I'm not against the mystery, because it's a mystery story, right? So like setting up things and not explaining them in the first episode, that's totally fine. But how many times has this happened where they don't ever answer the questions? They just pop up questions and you go, oh, I'm gonna find out in the next episode.
Well,
you never find out, and they drop them.
Me and Discord
They're-
talked about this a lot with the mystery box. The problem is you have to be fucking smart enough to answer the mystery at some point.
Yes.
Like it's an interesting story device when it starts opening up boxes, but if you just like J.J. Abrams does, he goes, I'm not going to answer that fucking question. I'm going to leave and let somebody else figure it out for me. Like,
So
yeah.
J.J. Abrams started with the idea, but Lindelof was the one that really accelerated it in Lost. It was Lost that is the beginning of all of this. And that was just because they had to drag out time and they were desperately begging for the show to end. And they're like, no. So it's like, well, let's see how far we can go. We'll just add things in. And that was part of the reason was because J.J. left. They had no other option.
Well, to write a good mystery, you need to be smart. You need to actually be clever to do this. And there are some brain-breakingly retarded moments in this episode that I could only conclude the people that made this show are not very smart. Like, I'm going to have a bomb woven into my skeleton that beeps before it goes off.
Yeah.
Like I'm a
beeping
terrorist and I'm
sound?
going to warn everyone that I'm about to blow up just so you can, put a bubble around me. And that's discounting the stupidity of Hal Jordan announcing like, oh, you're an alien. I'm going to tell everyone you're an alien, basically. In the interrogation, everyone praises that scene when it's so friggin' stupid. The entire setup, nearly every interaction of that scene was retarded. And then to cap it off.
There is a line, though. Just quick, there's a line in that which didn't make sense because he's like, I've got plenty of power to stop a bomb. He's like, well, for how long? And it's like, oh, you actually don't know when he's going to explode. So if you're using up power all the while you're bubbling him, he's like, well, I can explode the moment you run out of power unless this lantern's going to appear. And it just never goes in that way at all. And if that was an instantaneous bomb, the moment you go, you're an alien, boom.
Yeah,
the movie's over.
Like as soon as any mention of bomb or even figuring out he's an alien, instead of announcing and telling him, oh, I now know that you're an alien, and now I'm telling you that, they could have actually used that information to get more out of him. But as soon as any threat was even indicated, that's when you bubble him straight away.
Well, the thing that's cool about that scene is when the guy flips to being an alien and lets him know, like, I know what the fuck's going on with these Green Lanterns. Like, he's like, did you charge your ring? Do you even bring a fucking lantern? Do you got enough juice to go? That's a cool moment. And then, like Disper said, then he just fucking blows himself up immediately. So now you just got rid of all of the tension of there is a guy walking around with a bomb in his chest and nobody will fucking listen to me about this guy. They all think, he's just a regular dude. And I don't know when I'm going to have to follow this guy around and babysit him, but they don't do any of that. They just fucking kill him immediately with a beeping bomb.
Or how he learned that information and whether that could lead back to the other Green. Like, nope.
Well, Jon Stewart probably told him because he told some random bitch in a bar how the whole fucking Green Lantern Corps works. The second she batted her eye-lashes at him.
And
her grandma eyelashes.
Like, I'm not really a super cop. I'm actually a trainee, and I inherit the ring from him if something happens to that guy. And then she's like, oh, wow, what happens to you? I don't know. It's just one of those things. There's only one of us at a time on the planet. It's like, why are you telling her this?
I have a question about that too, right?
No, it was worse than that because she just seen him get past the ring. She knows Hal Jordan because he's famous around the entire world. And he goes, I'm his trainee. And then she goes, oh, you're a space cop? How do you know I'm a space cop? It's like, Hal Jordan just gave you a ring and you're his trainee.
Right there.
But I have a question about that. So, like,
her powers of deduction.
The ring, there can only be one Green Lantern in that sector right at one time. So he's training Jon Stewart to be his successor.
So they bring it up within the show. That's right. So even Hal Jordan, the construct of of Hal that comes out of the ring goes, wait a minute, we don't do this training, right? So I don't know if you've seen the trailer for the future season.
I have.
Okay. Well, the whole plot is that the Guardians want to replace Hal Jordan, and they're saying it's because he's an oath breaker, right? So they want to replace him with Jon Stewart. But from what I surmise, is they want somebody they can control, and they think they can control Jon Stewart. So they're making the Guardians bad. And we have another girl boss coming.
Yep.
Laura Linney is playing a Guardian as a girl boss, as a woke blonde white woman who is currently probably thinks a woman strangling 3 of her children is not guilty, even though she said she wasn't. So we're gonna get more of that. I can't fucking wait.
Running the Green Lantern Corps, just sitting there in a fucking 50s housewife
and
dress.
these aliens that like the one who blew himself up might not be a bad one. this might be a giant immigration allegory, and there might be multiple aliens.
Might be
Guardians
might be
because
If
they're
you're trying to blow up a town, you're one of the bad ones. I mean,
well, okay.
Well, not in their mind.
Disparu,
They think they're
you're
doing the right
looking
thing.
at things logically. I am looking at things. If I worked in Hollywood, who would I see as the bad guy? Well,
from an evil perspective.
the oppressor. So, and then this town is within 20 miles of where Abensur crashed, and Hal got his ring. So, and they make a point to bring up that they didn't want humans being Green Lanterns. They didn't want Earth being involved in any of this anyway, and that crash was directed there, so it's some kind of conspiracy, right? And I wouldn't be surprised at the end. I could be completely wrong because the Manhunters are in it, but the Manhunters were robots, right? So they were robots, but then there's Martian Manhunter, which is different from the Manhunters. So the Guardians created the Manhunters first, and they went wrong, and that's why they went to the Lantern Corps.
But do we think that Damon Lindelof knows the difference between Martian Manhunter?
absolutely
and
not.
I think they combined them, so it's good. The Manhunters are going to be biological shapeshifters, right? So like Skrulls.
Oh, that's stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrible. But there's something else that's
That's just the
the line
sizzle,
of
that
there's
is.
14 species that can do this wrecks the rest of the entire DCU. Like anybody could be anybody else at any point. Like,
Yeah, Earth should be fucked right now.
Yeah.
14, you know what? The only thing keeping them safe is the 14 species warring with each other. That would be like it. And where's Superman? Like a fucking Green Lantern was just murdered in 2026. Where the fuck is Superman?
Where's Batman?
Where's Guy Gardner?
man.
Yep. Well, Guy Gardner, he comes in a later episode, doesn't he?
Batman is in Matt
'cause he
Reeves'
takes the
universe. So
he's an elf.
Actually, they're separate.
Oh my gosh.
There's something there's something else to be said though with killing off Hal Jordan and doing it in this way, and maybe you guys have seen this as well, but it's something that I kind of can't wrap my head around of how people are reacting to it, of how like you have the people that know Green Lantern and know that this is bad and they're on the same boat as us, but then there's also this other sector of people, and I can't figure out if they're bots or not, but we've seen other YouTubers take this sentiment and take this position of, oh yeah, well Hal Jordan's dead, but you still have 7 more episodes with him, so what are you complaining about? You get to enjoy 7 more episodes of Hal Jordan, where the whole point of the show, he's dead.
Yeah.
But we're also just emasculating him, and he's a loner, loser, reject. I'm sure he's going to be a degenerate to some extent. But they're saying that it's okay because there's still 7 more episodes. And I can't quite wrap my head around the new cope there, because I've heard this in person, actually. Like, people have confronted me, and the argument was, well, you still have Luke Skywalker in the original movie, so what are you complaining about?
No, the manner of death matters for a fictional character and how you look at the legacy of that character. Han Solo was forever besmirched because he walked into a fucking lightsaber like a fucking retard, and Luke Skywalker OD'd on the Force. So they are fucked forever because of those 2 decisions. Ben Kenobi had a heroic death. So you can, you know what? You can continue watching this dead character. We don't know how Hal Jordan died. My guess, and I could be completely wrong, is he stays dead. It's just the manner of his death we're trying to worry about. And maybe it's a heroic death, it's a sacrificial death, because there's a greater danger. And he saw that the only person who could save the world is Jon Stewart, the noble black man. So, like that's maybe, or they turn him into Parallax, which that takes buildup, that takes time, or Spectre or whatever. So, but he's not in Man of Tomorrow. So he's not in Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, his last act is him sending one of those message things into the future, and so like we'll get right back to the same exact scene of him sitting there, and then all of a sudden you're going to have this flash forward of, oh look, by the way, here's my presents that I've sent.
Remember what Damon Lindelof said about those. It's not the fact that we killed him, and I'm paraphrasing. It's if we made it worth it for the other characters when we get there. So this is for the other characters. They fridged Hal Jordan, which is funny as fuck. But the thing is, it's not Hal Jordan. He acts more like Guy Gardner. And he's not in his costume ever. And it really looks like, from what I've seen in the scenes, that anything costumed we're going to see in flashbacks, and Jon Stewart might be in his costume at the end of the 8th episode.
Yeah,
And might added
I'm so tired of that, dude.
Well, it was added in
time.
after production. Like the guy that played Hal said they weren't sure when they were making it whether they were going to have the suit in at all, because they weren't sure anyone wanted the suit, whether it'd work in the series. And so it seems like it was just added in at the very end or in.
Hey,
like,
we're going to make a
extra shoots,
Batman
whatever.
show, but that cape and those ears are silly.
Yeah.
Those are silly
We're not
Billy.
put him in the bat suit.
We're not going to put it in the back. Comics, remember
What if
that
Batman
John
wore a
Peters
trench
was
coat?
going to make a Superman movie where he didn't have a cape and didn't fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Is that also the one where he fights the giant spider?
Yes,
Robotic
it was all
spider?
during that creative process. John
Yeah.
Peters, Barbara Streisand's former hairdresser,
Yeah.
turned movie producer.
People making
Fucking stupid
movies
idea.
about comic book characters when they think comic book characters are stupid.
Green Lantern's got a cool
Nerdy crap.
costume.
He
Garrett.
does.
He
Like,
does.
his
Yeah,
last
yeah,
costume is
powers,
fucking
man.
cool. His mask is cool. The little domino mask. They don't have that. And Kyle Chandler is a good choice for Hal Jordan, who would look good in a decent costume. But they can't make decent costumes in DCU. Like fucking Guy Gardner's costume, which could look cool too, looks like shit.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
utter shit.
I mean, you saw him wear the costume in the interview, and it looked like it didn't even fit him. It was
it looks like
frumpy.
he's-
It was like wide neck.
There was a
It looked
picture
awful.
of I think it was one of the who are the two actresses who are going to be that are superheroes that are going to be in Man of Tomorrow. There's one that people thought was going to be Wonder Woman, Ryan, but it's not Wonder Woman.
Adria Jorna.
It's either a picture of her or it's a picture of Hot Girl that was going around on Twitter. She looked fucking hot as fuck. I'm like, she's not going to look that good in the movie.
Well, yeah, so that is the girl. Yeah, Wizard got it right. And she was in Andor. She was Bix in Andor, if you remember her.
Yeah. Okay.
So people think she's going to be like, I think she's officially cast as Maxima.
Maxima. Yeah.
There's a lot of speculation that she's.
But we
Wonder
all
Woman.
know from
But-
from the animated series. So
So, in regards to Hal Jordan's death, right? I think with their agenda, they want to replace Hal Jordan with Jon Stewart. That's obvious. So you don't think it's going to be a bait and switch like it was really a Martian Manhunter in disguise? That was
no.
I kinda feel
Okay,
like
for one,
it's a bit of a
James Gunn has said definitively Jon Stewart is his Green Lantern, even though Guy Gardner's in the fucking. But Jon Stewart's going to be the main one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there'll be Guy Gardner. And then you have to look at things from Hollywood's perspective. Well, that's two white dudes and a black dude. We got to keep it even. So I think Hal will stay dead.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's plenty of stories of him coming back, resurrected. Like there's potential that they could do to bring back Hal in some way. But I just I think he probably is dead. However, there's plenty of reason, especially with little red herrings and stuff like that have been thrown up throughout even just one episode. There's a lot of potential misdirects that it could be. So I don't want to definitively say that he is dead. However, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether he's dead or not because they've assassinated his character.
Yes, exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
And I say could be dead. The ring missing is nothing. The ring would be gone if he was dead.
Yep.
And it didn't go to John, so that might be the one thing that we need to think about is
No, they've said it. They've already done in interviews. Guy Gardner's got it.
Well, Guy Gardner's got it. There you go.
Yeah. Same ring.
Okay, that makes sense.
And Guy Gardner visits him in, I don't know what time period it's going to be. It won't be 2026, but they're going to be jumping around 3 different time periods like they did in True Detective.
Yeah.
But True Detective was a really fucking smart, beautifully shot, beautifully composed TV show. One of the finest pieces of
story
art
unfolded
ever put on television.
Yeah, it's one of the best seasons of television ever made, like hands down. Yeah. The writing
it's not
Damon
4K.
Lindelof is not going to come anywhere close to touching it. There's no fucking way.
This stupid fucking writer's room, these stupid assholes had the balls to try to put this show in the same breath as that season of television. Like they thought, man, I watched it, so I know exactly how to recreate this shit. And this is what they gave us. This is the slot they put in front of us. And people being like, well, blah, blah. No, bitch. They directly compare these two things. The comparisons are warranted because of this. You just shut the fuck up and make a Green Lantern show and you go, we're just trying a different direction. Then at least, we're going to judge the show like this. You compared it to a better show.
How often
Multiple
do we
times,
go through this pattern with superhero TV shows. I mean, we just see
Every time.
Every
I
single
expect
time.
more from HBO because HBO does make good TV shows, and they've been doing it for a long time, and they are widely considered the fucking best.
Yep.
But it is Damon Lindelof. A lot of this episode reminds me a lot of how Watchmen was formatted and how it was dealt with as well, and lots of similar themes. The thank God we're getting another immigration allegory, guys. I was worried that we weren't going to get one this week.
Well, there's not enough of them, Gary. That's the reason why we're getting it. So,
Garrett, could you pull up? We're going to get hit, but this is why you should watch live. Pull up the upcoming trailer. James Gunn tweeted a couple 3 days ago.
Oh man, that's gonna be like 3,000.
The thing is, they knew they were going to be getting. They wanted the shock value, so they knew they were going to be getting this response. But it feels like they
also why they illegally copyright claimed people who were just talking about the rumor that Hal Jordan died. There were people that were getting takedowns for simply talking about it.
Yes.
Not posting a leak, not posting a leaked image or leaked video. Somebody who made a dog shit meme, got copyright claimed.
Wow, that sounds familiar, Ryan. Where have I heard this story before?
Fucking Naughty Dog and Neil Cuckman. I mean, James Gunn is the Neil Cuckman of the DC universe. This dude's got such a cuck fetish, he had to put it in this show too.
He did.
He did.
Yes.
Hey, but he's hands off.
My wife and
he's hands off on this show. Apparently,
that's me in the corner.
Nothing better than eating off another man's grill. Am I right?
Yep. What the fuck is that line?
Black Dr. Manhattan's fucking my wife. Okay, let's see this. This is. By the way, I still feel like they were expecting it, but the blowback was hard. It felt like they were buckling a little bit and saying, well, maybe he's not dead, and we'll have to see what happens. But okay, pause it real quick. So another problem I have just structurally with the story is you have 4 dead football players. Is that what he just said?
Yeah.
Football players, not fans. Football players. Did I hear that right?
Who died was for the other team, and there were fans.
But nobody knows who they are. Now, it makes sense because they're from a town that's 200 something miles away. So they probably wouldn't know. But don't you think family members would come out the 200 miles? And the problem is they didn't really provide a good mental map of the town. So I had no sense of how big's this town? How did they feel about these murders? The cop, female girl boss says one time, like, "Oh, we're trying to keep the townspeople calm." That's it. But there's no real sense of how the town feels about it. What the fuck's going on? How does the town feel about a Green Lantern being there? Wouldn't that the fact that Hal Jordan's there, people would notice, and that the word would get out, and that would be national news.
Yes.
Yeah. And he said there are 4 dead aliens. I don't think he said football.
Okay. So 4 dead aliens. So there's 4 dead people. So what I got was they rushed the field after the game, and then there was the shooting, but we don't know who the shooters are. So I'm guessing the shooters are Taylor Sheridan villains militia. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
And then
they never even talk about the shooters.
No,
actually, that alien that ran off, he was with the victims.
Yeah.
At no point did they say there was a shootout between them. So it's really weird that we need to catch that guy because his friends just died.
Well, and it's probably because the sheriff knows more than she's letting on, and she knows that maybe Taylor Sheridan villain is not an alien, just a human who's aware of the aliens due to his benefactors, who could be Lex Luthor or whoever the fuck it could be. Because
if he knows that she's an alien, then that would explain what he would have on her.
And
there you go. And maybe the aliens are victims. Let's keep.
You got to get out of here before you regret being here.
What we're doing right now is exactly why Lindelof plays into this, because you write your own plots that you like, and then you like the show because of that until right at the very end, and it puts off all the drama till the end. All this cope about is he alive or is he dead is just people admitting that it's a bad thing to do, because if you have to cope that he's still alive, you didn't want him dead in the first place.
So did you watch Watchmen, Disbrew?
No, but I will before.
Did anybody here watch it all the way through?
Not all the way through. I
Watched it all the way through.
Nobody watched it. Okay.
I got 3 episodes through, and I was like, I can't stay away.
Yeah.
So Ozymandias is off planet and basically in exile, right?
Yeah.
Played by Jeremy Irons. And he has an illegitimate Vietnamese daughter. Forgot her name. Chat. You can tell me what her name is. Who is actually smarter and better than him in every way.
Wow.
Of course. Yeah.
She's trying to basically do her thing, and they set her up to be like the new Ozymandias, and then they fucking kill her for like they set this big thing up, and then she dies for no fucking reason. Poontang, that's it. Poontang, that was
Poontang. Are you serious?
That's the mystery box, dude. That's setting up a bunch of stuff to
they set up a bunch of shit, and then like they just pull the rug, and she's useless, and there's no point to her story, and They kill off Ozymandias at the end, and Dr. Manhattan hands his fucking nutsack over to a woman.
Yeah.
Yep. That's your mystery box.
Get a season 2?
What was her fucking name? Did anybody make it through that series? I heard the series was a massive hit, everybody.
There's a great interview from Lindelof about it where they're asking him, so how do you write your mysteries? And he says, we always plan. It's like, do we answer the questions in episode 6, 7, 8? So that's the way he leaves everything till right at the very end. So the next few, nothing's going to happen. You're going to find out absolutely nothing about any of this stuff. Well, and then suddenly you'll be like, oh,
yeah,
they're aliens.
You got to watch the next episode, guys.
To maintain the mystery, they have to make like the characters incredibly stupid to not notice the blatantly obvious things. Like if the whole town is aliens, there's a big, clue that a smart character would be picking up on. It's like, well, every single person in this town seems to be playing defense for the alien and not for him not to interrogate him. And it's like, well, why are you guys trying to protect him? Are you on his side? No, he's not going to figure that out.
That might actually be happening. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But they're making the characters so stupid because that's blatantly obvious. Why isn't he picking up on it? Because they need to maintain the mystery, and so they're dumbing him down to.
Well, the best point is Hal Jordan is not that was brought up before, that Hal Jordan is not protesting enough to where like, yes, I'm fucking right. I'm
exactly.
Bitch, how many of you been to space? And then all the aliens go right here, and he's like,
exactly. Like, why isn't he saying and I'm protesting? Like, why are you guys protecting the aliens so much? Why aren't you letting me do my job? No, it's just stupid.
Why is Taylor Sheridan villain reminding Hal Jordan that the universe might not be the most peaceful place because they have space police?
Yeah.
Why would he have to remind Hal Jordan that? He is
he's reminding the audience, not Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan's actually everybody's kind of nice out there.
Yeah, he says it's peaceful. Like,
you know what? Hal Jordan's got a shirt on that says Haiti is awesome.
Also, this is a guy with a magic ring to defend himself against aliens who sees a load of guys with like M16s or rifles, whatever, and goes, this seems like it's a bit over the top protection. What, against aliens with spaceships that can nuke you from orbit, and you're walking around with a semi-automatic.
They use their skeletons with bombs. The beep.
Yeah. Where's it beeping from? That's my question.
Well, just reported out yesterday, they had to install a speaker.
Yeah, it was a conscious decision in the operating room. Like, should we install one? Yeah, go on.
Like, just put this under his rib. Yeah, they need this.
Self-destruct.
Gary, I have a question about the ring canonically in the comic books. Does the ring have any scanning ability to, scan for life forms, scan for creatures' race, like detect alien or anything like that? Like, is that in the comic books?
In some iterations, like... It's going to depend, like, which run, which person. Like, the ring can do a lot. It certainly can do a lot.
It's limited by your imagination and will.
Yeah, I thought that's why the ring won't go to John Stewart. It's like, I don't know about that.
And as far as I know, the ring doesn't work for anybody else unless I don't know, that Green Lantern says. I don't know. I don't know.
They're rewriting a lot of rules about the ring and about Green Lanterns and all this shit when it comes to this. The idea of Hal training his replacement. There has to be something, but in my mind, because we've got this like kind of 10 years ago Hal Jordan who hasn't like uploaded his backup, and he's kind of a completely different person at that point in time. To me, maybe there's something going on where Hal doesn't trust or has completely fallen out with everyone at OA. Maybe OA's been destroyed. I don't know. There's a lot of shit that they could possibly do when it comes to that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
If
Well, and the thing is, like,
he loses power.
Well, maybe not destroyed in terms of the overall like Lantern infrastructure, but in terms of maybe the leadership's gone. Maybe they've been taken over by somebody. I don't know.
Just Sinestro's in jail. Like I would have guessed at OA.
Well,
Like,
let's
how'd they
watch
get
the rest of this.
him?
It shows them.
Interesting.
4 aliens are dead. Obviously, the Green Lantern's going to be there. Like, that would be more reason.
Yeah, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. You found all those like illegal weapons that we said weren't here, FBI. Like, why don't you guys go home? Like, good job.
Time to call in the Justice League.
Yeah.
He might also be enjoying
Justice
some of the cooking.
Gang.
Yeah. The
Justice Gang.
Yeah. Justice Gang.
Justice Gang.
They don't exist yet.
Oh,
This is 2016.
I was just saying, like, I hate that cop lady. Every time she appears, it just makes me want to gag.
she's a guardian.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm glad I didn't watch this.
Yeah, like
Don't they call her the Guardian? Like,
by the way, I don't think we
Closing it
spent
down
any
now.
time
Marvel
talking.
again, dude.
I don't think we spent any time talking about Jon Stewart's father shooting an apple off his head in the front. Well, in the
In public.
driveway of a suburban town.
And
Like,
not the first time. Not for the first time.
they're
Multiple.
like, turn off the TV.
Multiple
Dad's gonna
times.
come in. He's like,
No
don't watch
silencer.
TV. Get outside.
I was really hoping, like,
Very Black Hooded.
unfortunately, we already got like a phone call from Jon Stewart to his father in 2016 timeframe. I was really hoping we get another flashback, and like 2 seconds after that, the cops show up and just shoot him. And like that's
It's got a gun. Yeah.
somebody fires off a round in a suburban neighborhood right in their driveway, and
Yeah.
it's like
Somebody's going to jail.
He's like, what were you doing? Just shooting apples off my kid's head to teach him
Yep.
not to be scared.
And
Okay,
all of a
carry on.
sudden it happens.
And they're like,
multiple
oh,
times.
yeah. Yeah, well, we've all been there. And they just leave.
Spare the rod.
Also,
Yes.
we
And then
did
late-
get, this was like
Spare the rounds. Like,
they did put it in there as well. They didn't necessarily spell it out, but during Jon Stewart's call with his father when he's complaining about Hal, Jon Stewart's dad is like, hey, they can act a fool, they can lose their temper, but we can't. We have to keep steady. Basically saying white people can fucking
Yeah.
act like that, but black people can't.
Yeah.
Tell it to
I
me,
can
Ryan.
fire off rounds in the middle of the night in a suburban neighborhood, shooting apples off my kid's head. Don't lose your temper.
Yeah.
They ain't
That's
like
not
us.
privilege.
They
That's
ain't
not
like us.
privilege. I don't know what else is.
Yeah.
I thought it got worse when he was talking to the kid trying to throw the ball, though, and he's like, don't aim, just imagine it going through. And then he goes, my dad used to do that to me when he was shooting at me. It's like, your dad didn't even aim. Are you lucky to be alive at this point? He's like, no, I just
Bizarre. What a
I
weird thing, though.
manifested not killing my child.
He shoots the apple. I ain't even aim. I was just imagining where I was going to go.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Manifest.
Closing it up.
Man, I'm
Telling
man,
my will.
that shit.
I like that, like Jon Stewart's fucking sniper experience advice translates to some little fucking retard throwing a football. I did think that was interesting. As he's fucking his grandmother.
Can we die? Like, was he in the middle of a really dry spell? Does he have very low standards? Like, he just like any off
was
the
that?
bar.
And he poured a storm.
She was an old woman. She wasn't.
And he
attractive.
poured in a storm. Yeah.
Point is,
The best part is
Grandma
grandmothers
Lotless.
go. That's probably pretty good in terms of grandmothers, but John, I guess when you're a vegan, you only got so many options.
Yeah. And the best part is like just after all of that, he has a ring and he lights her cigarette and you go, maybe Hal had a point about not giving you that fucking ring.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
check this shit out. Check this shit out, ladies. You got cigarettes? I can light them up.
Also, did we consider the inherent racism of Midwest Nebraska? Probably not a lot of women would have slept with a black dude there.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, she was also
bringing
feel a
the
certain way about Barack Obama. He looks about half and half too. You know what I mean?
And were those cigarettes Newports? Probably not. Yeah.
So exciting.
Fun.
Huh?
Sign me up.
Just
Not
looks
literally
hateful.
the
looks
thing that
depressing
he's
and
from, that show that he was from that he did before this, that he got hired for this show from. This is like literally the same setup as that show. Like Damon Lindelof does not have a creative bone in his fucking body. He cannot do anything original. It's all just, this is True Detective. It's also Training Day. It's also that show that he was from. Let's just do that again. Like,
Somebody who wrote that script,
it's all ripoffs.
Hal Jordan says junior 7 fucking times in one show, in one episode. it's just like their go-to every time he talks about anything. He's just like, Junior. Hey, Junior. At one point, he says it like 2 times in like the same fucking sentence. I was like,
the F-bomb.
is this how you think older people
36
talk?
times in it. 36 times.
Holy shit.
Yep. Lanterns of Color. That's good.
Is this a Limp Bizkit album or what?
That's what it should have been called.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, but you could see superheroes in their sweats and in jeans and in dirty jackets.
Yep.
Yeah. Amazing. The DCU. It's in such
Guns
a good
jammed,
spot
folks.
right now.
Best.
The
Guns
guns
jammed.
jammed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only the best scripts.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what I kind of like seeing in my superhero TV show? Superheroes actually acting like superheroes.
What?
Yeah.
You don't
I
like
know.
to see them screw somebody's
Are you
grandmother?
a nerd or something?
Yeah, I know, right? It's awful, but you know.
Heroism, that's just privilege now. That's just, you know,
Clearly, yeah.
You should apologize for it.
So Lindelof did basically agree with that in one of the interviews where he said that now the audience will just reject any vision of a better society, any society that's good, because the world they're living in is so horrific they can't cope with the hopeful vision of the future that we used to put into TV series.
What a fucking weird job.
They wonder why the world, like one of the many reasons why the world's going to hell, because there are no heroes anymore that are being presented. There's no new heroes and new stories of heroism being presented because we're getting all this nihilistic BS.
I love it when a multimillionaire comes on and tells me how horrible the world is, so he can't present it in his multi-million-dollar TV show.
Yep.
They'll
singing Imagine
pretend.
at you.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
But they specifically want you demoralized. They want this is everything. I mean, this is as on the same philosophical level of what they did to Jean Grey. It's in the same ballpark. It's not the same batter, but it's the same. It's the same pitch. It's the same kind of idea. It's where it's all coming from. There is no heroism. There is no good or bad.
Yep.
We have to reduce all of that, and we're going to demoralize the people. And I see people are like, well, you're saying the same thing, you know, Wizard. And I'm like, it's because it's the same. It is the same thing.
Same
every single time, for every property, for every story, for every character. And Garrett, you said it, you know, oh, the superheroes, they try to tell you that the superheroes are stupid. It's childish. No, that's culture. It's how people understand what heroism looks like, what good and bad looks like, and that's what they're really after here. So this is a hard one to sit through because you know it's made with hatred for you. Mm-hmm. It is made with absolute hatred for people like us and you guys at home. This is the antithesis of good.
The whole thing
it's
is like,
don't be a hero, you know, just be morally gray.
Look at Bad Reboot from Jar Jar Abrams has done more damage than 10,000 Harvey Weinsteins to Hollywood and the storytelling.
Yep.
They're frauds. So they basically were a startup and they're like, we need a widget to sell. Let's be nerds. Let's convince everybody that I'm a big Spielberg fan and we all read comic books and we love Star Wars and Star Trek and we'll be nerds. And hey, we'll be head by a guy who used to babysit Steven Spielberg's kids. Yep. So we'll get that leg up. And everything he produced was hollow. I like Alias. I like the first couple of seasons of Alias, ended like shit. I think the most solid thing he has ever produced might be Fringe, which still ended like shit.
Mission
Impossible, like Super 8, trash. Like everything he's done is the only good movie he's directed was when he was a hired gun for Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
that was it, and that's still Mystery Box.
Yeah,
right.
It was
so. This guy and his team of fucking repurposing pieces of shit have ruined fucking Hollywood, and their fingerprints are everywhere. Rings of Power, Star Trek. Star Wars, you know, and now DC, they've gotten everywhere, and they're like a fucking cancer. And
now they're moving to anime and manga.
Oh, that'll be next.
Yes.
Yep.
But it's also gone so far where people are starting to believe that that's what television is supposed to be. So it's gone further. It has spread into other genres and other networks. And like you said, it's going to be with anime next. And people are starting to believe that that's how you make that's just how you make TV. It's, well, you got to give somebody a reason to come back next week. There has to be a mystery we have to track down. But that's insane to claim. And they're saying it on Twitter right now. But that's crazy because we've got Mobland. We've got The Gentleman. We've got Tulsa King. We've got the Westies, none of which are mystery boxes. Every episode is just a new episode in the story.
It's a story with progression. So, and I mentioned this so what a mystery box is, it's a storytelling cheat. Yes. So you can avoid things like characterization, logic, narrative progression. So what, and Disbrew brought it up, the fan does all the work, you do all this headcanon shit, and then things get wrapped up at the end, and 9 times out of 10, they are unsatisfying. Like, name me a mystery box show that has ended well. There might be one. True Detective is a mystery box show. It's a very good one. Then there'll be 100 other ones that suck.
I feel like there's the difference between a mystery box show and something that's just a mystery is that they have a clear answer to those mysteries by the end of the show. Like, they wrote the show knowing that this is what we're leading to, and these things are important to lead to that specific thing. But like mystery box shows, half of the things that they set up, like you said before, like they'll just drop. They'll just
or
they'll
have
either completely
consistency
omit and not even talk about.
Yeah.
I think it's mystery boxes leave the answers until they're planning to end everything, whereas mystery shows will have a mystery,
know where they're going,
discover it, which leads into a greater mystery, which are answered and leads into a greater mystery, and so the show keeps expanding, whereas mystery boxes just tread time until you eventually get to the answer.
Well, and the problem you run into with a lot of mystery shows and mystery writers today is that they all want to be clever and smarter than their audience, and you can't typically write smarter than you actually are. And so the idea is, well, nobody will ever guess this, and so then you just drop fucking exposition, or you drop something that nobody would have ever guessed or figured out anyways because they didn't have the information to do it. Some of the best mysteries are ones that if you're smart enough, you can figure it out too, and you can track along with it, and you go, oh, I actually figured that out. And that's part of the satisfying nature of it, is go, oh my god, I did figure that out. Or like True Detective, oh my gosh, I saw that dude in episode 5 and I didn't even put it together until it was too late. That's the genius of that kind of stuff, is that kind of thing. But a lot of these writers today just want to be special and feel like they're smarter than everybody around them, and they're not. And that's the annoying part of it. And yeah, the mystery box thing is a fucking joke now. But you know, even the thing about deconstructionism, how many times do we have to watch a fucking beloved hero be torn down and called an alcoholic and that's given up on life and stuff? It's because
apparently a few more times
until there are none left, Mike.
Until there are none left. But the thing is,
we got
deconstructionism is a useful tool to show why heroes work. The deconstructionism is supposed to go, if I put this up against every question or every criticism you have, does it still stand on its own? And good heroes will, but they don't do that. They change who these heroes are at the very core. They're not challenging an idea. They're just saying, well, if we rinse it all and make it all bad so we can establish our own heroes, but they don't even know how to establish their own shit. Like,
it's a straw man. They're deconstructing a straw man. It's not what the character is. It's deconstructing some fake version of what they think it is, and then deconstruct that. And it's like, can we just get a construct? Yeah. Can we get a show that just builds a character up? You know, it's not,
I've said this a bunch, but they don't believe in that. No, they don't believe in heroism because they don't believe in good or bad. Morality is a sticky gray middle. It's morally gray. The problem is with that is, like, even with George R.R. Martin, when he did Morally Gray, there was still some bad guys that were purely bad.
That's the difference. As much as we criticize George still has heroes. Yes. They're just unconventional, but they're heroes.
As brutal as his world is.
In the truest sense of the word, there is good people with honor that are fighting for and they're working towards something, right? And like the Westworld, produced by Jar Jar Abrams. I just remembered that one too. That guy's he has fucked up so much shit.
Yeah, and but keep giving him jobs.
No, like, it's not a grand conspiracy in of itself of the destruction of the hero. It's a belief system.
Yes,
they just don't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you
Which
don't get
almost
anything
is
new.
worse. You know?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like how much of a awful worldview that is to believe that heroism can't really exist, and if it does, it's a form of privilege that you need to apologize for and step back from your exceptionalism and they think to lift other people up. No, they just want to tear the exceptional people down. So it's all a low.
It's funny because
but it's also it's a
playing field is what they want.
but it's a permission to do whatever you want. If there is no morality, if there is no good or if there is no bad, then there's no reason to be held accountable. There's no reason to ever have shame. There's no reason to try to better oneself. I'm good enough the way I am. There is no reason for me to ever be held accountable.
Yeah.
That's why it's so terrible.
It's a convenient worldview to have if you're the evil one.
Yeah.
You were like, well, there's no evil really.
No, but
Whatever I
listen,
want.
you touched on a really important philosophy they hold right there. And it's the idea that they don't want to feel judged. They want to feel validated and acknowledged. They, acknowledge my identity. We hear that, language thrown out all the time. And that any type of exceptionalism, standard morality that people hold, that condemns them, and they feel judged as a result. And so they would rather there be no standards, no morality at all. So they are perfect the way they are, validated. And usually it's to validate their own, promiscuity or identity or whatever type of thing it is.
Shameful actions. That's going back to that real quick, because I think that is so important, is that shame exists for a reason. And the left has done their damnedest to eradicate it so they don't have to feel bad for the shitty things that they do.
Yeah, it's called moral relativism.
I think that it could be more simple than that. That nobody has any ideas and they just think this is how it's done. I mean, if you look at like social media, all these sites wait till someone does something new and it catches on, and then they follow that.
Yeah, but
we could be one rider away from change.
We could if we see a massive success, but sometimes they learn the wrong reasons because they lack that belief, Gundam, that belief of exceptionalism and things could be better. I mean, Damon Lindelof coming out and going, "We live in such a terrible world, we can't write about it." It's like, that's ingratitude. And you want to talk about a blight on our society right now is ingratitude, not like really looking at the things that are good in our lives. And such a focus on shit. Right?
I don't know what you mean, Gary.
I'm talking to you, Ryan.
Even you love Pokemon cards, my dude.
Yeah, you love
packs.
All right.
Genuinely, though, can I jump on what Gary is saying here? Because if people open up their eyes, they will see that we are living in a world of miracles. Unbelievable luxury of the likes the world has never seen before. Like the access to information, the comfort, like having hot water on demand, in
air
your own
conditioning.
home.
It's fucking
These
amazing.
are luxuries that the kings of the past did not have, and the poor of the modern day have it at a whim, right? Like if you took anyone from the past and brought them into the modern day, they would actually think we've achieved, paradise. Like
we have, right? You're 100% right, Shed. Like that is why that's why the topics of the day and the controversies of the day are what they are. That's why you got people sitting there complaining about not getting called their proper pronouns, because 500 years ago they'd be worried about getting fucking raped in the mud somewhere or some shit. That's still how it is in Africa. Still, there's some place in the world. There's some place in the world that are so shitty and everything that they're not concerned about getting misgendered because they're worried about living. They're worried about eating the next day. So we are living in the best time ever in human civilization's history in terms of the things we have at our fingertips. But that always means there's going to be something else that's wrong, something else.
Yeah.
I am the master of finding something to complain about. Okay, I get that. I understand. But that's why the issues of the day are the issues of the day.
We have fat poor people with
has been
$1,000 phones.
Right.
Yes.
We need to have people shoveling shit again to teach them their place in the world.
I agree. Shoveling shit, a little bit of fear of rape.
Really
I mean, that goes a long way,
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Maybe
I grew up in the
everybody
hood.
should live
That was every
homeless for a year. Gundam. We force everybody. It's like Israel makes everybody go in the military. We just make everybody go. Sorry, I mentioned Israel. What's up, Rumble?
Countries as well, Gary.
Make everybody be homeless for a year, and if they survive, great. Then you earn that $1,000 phone.
You have to remember these people have an out-group preference, so they're not even thinking about like the poor people in America. They're talking about the poor people in the rest of the world trying to get to places like America, and so they see things like borders as well. We're making the world unequal, and therefore, because we're making us unequal, the world's horrific and awful.
Get
because
these
I care
people
about
live in gated communities.
Well, yeah, but they don't care about the people around them. They care about themselves, obviously, but they don't care about the people around. They care more about the people over there than they do close to them. And so as long as anyone suffers in the world, it'll be the worst time ever for them. And they need to tell everybody about it so that you can know they're a really good person.
Yeah. Exactly. So I can never write a show that's hopeful or heroic or nice. No, there's somebody hungry out there.
The other thing, though, is right because things take so long to be made in the industry, right? So something goes from pitch to conceptualization to fucking writing and then actually going to production, all this stuff. It can take years. So, you have something like, say, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I think was a really bright spot for us when that came out because the tone and even though it's in the Game of Thrones universe and has some of that about it, it definitely was a heroic story and embracing that heroism. And you can see something like that and we might not see other people that are inspired to take a shot like that. It could be 2 to 3 years before we see a couple people that are like, let's try to replicate the success of that.
No, how many people said after we were saying it when we were watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, it's like Dunk is how they should have portrayed Superman.
Yes.
That's exactly how you should have portrayed Superman, is how you portrayed Dunk. And we had Dunk and Egg, and then we had Project Hail Mary. And then we had a fucking article in Hollywood Reporter. We need more Hope Corps. And I couldn't agree more.
Yes, please.
We have that. You have Project Hail Mary. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's bring out Lanterns, which is just fucking Black Pill Corps. I mean, that was
miserable.
MISERYCORE.
Fucking misery. And I don't know. The ratings were decent for an HBO show. I don't know how if people are going to stick with this.
One thing that should be pointed out is one thing that should be pointed out was the breakdown between the international numbers and the domestic numbers. For reference, House of the Dragon, 22 million viewers ish in the first 3 days compared to Lanterns a little over 9. But for House of the Dragon, that's about half and half. Half domestic, half international. For Lanterns, it's 6.3 million domestic and 3 million international.
Yeah,
there's a big problem for James Gunn's DC Universe that no one outside of America gives a fuck about it.
It's not just out whether he was watching it and some of the Americanisms come in. You're like, I didn't fucking pick that up. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, the conversation with him and his father didn't get at all. I knew there was something going on when he first met that cop. They looked at each other and I'm like, I'm supposed to be getting some kind of message here, but he's just met him. I don't know what would possibly be the subtext. A lot of the things about Obama, there's going to be loads of people around the world have no idea what all that was about or what they was even trying to say there or what Nebraska's got to do with it. So, yeah,
it's like bringing up a British PM from fucking 3 terms ago, which admittedly was last year. But, like nobody's going to remember that shit at all.
But don't worry, because some Indian account on Twitter is going to say how riveting that piece was or how interesting it was to use the Nebraska Hussein.
Now you should just shut up. Like, you should just shut up. Why would you?
It's getting so easy to pick out. Jay Longbone responded to one, and I just thought, like, oh, okay, I'm going to go. India or Pakistan? It was India. And then the other guy, so I haven't responded to him yet, so, because I called out the show and somebody called me a good Nazi and I went and saw his accounts from Pakistan. And I wanted to point out that who really loved Nazis? Muslims. Just want to point that out.
Dave, a broken clock, right, Gary?
Yep. That's right.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.